Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. We're going to skip the usual pleasantries today because, frankly, we're staring down the barrel of a totally unprecedented economic phenomenon. It's what we're calling a true rockstar hurricane. Look, in the hyper-competitive history of video games, it is incredibly rare for a single event to literally paralyze the release calendars of rival development studios all across the globe. But what's looming over the 2026 gaming calendar? It isn't just a major game launch. It's a massive market disruption. The entire industry is basically stockpiling rations and seeking shelter right now.
The raw psychological terror facing AAA publishers right now is, well, it's very real. Just look at the creators of A Plague Tale. They recently dropped all that polished corporate PR speak and explicitly branded Rockstar Games as a ravenous ogre that is destined to just indiscriminately devour the entire 2026 calendar. That brutally honest remark, it really pulls back the curtain on a grim reality circulating inside these secretive boardrooms right now. Competition has basically turned into a desperate plea for survival.
But think about the sheer scale of this macroeconomic threat for a second. Can one game, just one piece of media, actually paralyze a massive global industry? The answer lies in a genuinely terrifying marketing concept known as the attention vacuum. When GTA 6 launches, Rockstar's marketing machine is going to mechanically suck all the promotional oxygen, the trending hashtags, the media coverage, all of it, right out of the room. If a publisher foolishly launches their $200 million game within that blast radius, they're essentially volunteering for an unrecoverable financial hit.
To really anchor this tension, let's look at some historical precedent. $1 billion. That's the totally incomprehensible retail sales figure that Grand Theft Auto V generated in just 3 days after its launch. 3 days. That's a record unchallenged by any media. Not even Hollywood blockbusters like Avatar or The Avengers come close. And now, over a decade later, market thirst has reached an absolute boiling point. Analysts are forecasting GTA 6 will just effortlessly shatter every existing record. When billions of dollars of disposable income worldwide are hoarded for one singular product, it effectively drains consumer wallets everywhere. There is literally no money left for anything else.
And because everyone knows this massive hoarding of disposable income is coming, we're seeing this panicky, almost unprecedented sterilization of the late 2025 and 2026 release calendars. No CEO wants to stand in front of their shareholders and try to explain why their flagship project was financially crushed under the treads of Rockstar's marketing tank. So, what we're witnessing is an intentional massive evacuation just to avoid the blast radius altogether.
Major CEOs are literally reorganizing their entire slates to avoid financial insolvency here. Take Ubisoft. They're known for massive open worlds, right? They're heavily delaying their major releases to late 2026 or even early 2027, knowing full well their games would look instantly antiquated sitting next to Vice City. Electronic Arts and Square Enix are officially pushing their massive 100-hour RPGs all the way to fiscal year 2027 simply because gamers are going to be dedicating those exact 100 hours to GTA. And Call of Duty, they're accelerating to an early summer release. It's a desperate scramble to catch gamers' wallets before they start saving up for GTA pre-orders.
But amidst all this panic and evacuation, there's actually one studio running straight toward the storm. S-Game, the developers of Phantom Blade Zero, aggressively push their release forward to sit exactly in the most dangerous spot imaginable. Why? Well, it's a total masterclass in counter-programming. While the entire mainstream is completely absorbed in the modern, darkly satirical world of GTA, S-Game is targeting a hardcore minority that wants the exact opposite. They want a dark, linear, niche, wuxia hack and slash. They aren't trying to compete, they're brilliantly selling water in the desert to players fleeing that mainstream hype.
Okay, let's zoom right into the epicenter of this hurricane. You basically have to throw traditional entertainment economics completely out the window here. Consider this. The most expensive movie ever made, Star Wars: The Force Awakens, cost a staggering $447 million. The leaked estimated budget for GTA 6, up to $2 billion. Let that sink in. Rockstar isn't just making a video game anymore. They're gambling up to $2 billion to establish an entirely new virtual economy. The pressure is so immense that a failure, even a slight underperformance, could entirely bankrupt Take-Two Interactive.
And a gargantuan budget like that, it requires a massive return. Which brings us to the hidden economics of this whole gamble. Massive retail chains, places like GameStop and Best Buy, are relying entirely on the peripheral profitability of this single release just for their yearly survival. Gamers aren't just going to buy the game. They're going to buy new controllers, high-end headsets, external SSDs. Plus, you have the halo effect. People walking into a store just for the game are highly likely to walk out with physical PSN gift cards too. Add in the very high probability that Rockstar locks early access behind $100 to $150 premium editions, and you can see exactly how they plan to recoup those billions straight from our collective wallets.
So, what exactly is Rockstar doing with a budget the size of a small country's GDP? Leaked data suggests that an astonishing 70% of the buildings in the massive Leonida map will feature explorable interiors. For a little context, GTA 5 only had about 5%. This kind of sheer density, combined with fully dynamic global illumination and an intensely heavy AI system managing hundreds of concurrent NPCs, it's going to cause an absolute nightmare for engine programmers.
And having 70% of buildings fully explorable, that brings us to what I like to call the ultimate hardware stress test. The upgraded Rage engine is absolutely going to push our current 9th generation consoles to their breaking point. Based on pixel count technical analyses, the Xbox Series S, with its limited RAM pool, is going to struggle immensely to load all those unique assets at once. Even the base PS5 and Xbox Series X are likely to be locked around a 1440p internal resolution and capped at 30 frames per second. They have to be, just to handle the hyper-realistic physics and massive AI crowds without literally melting.
And honestly, these hardware limits feed right into a highly controversial but ruthlessly effective financial strategy known as double dipping. Notice how a PC release is noticeably absent from the initial launch window? Yeah, that's not just about the complexities of PC porting. Rockstar knows hardcore PC gamers are so desperate to play that they'll willingly buy a console and a $70 copy on day one. Then, they'll wait a year or two and happily drop another $70 for the definitive PC version with unlocked frame rates and mod support. It's a brilliant, if totally anti-consumer tactic that generated billions for them during GTA 5. Now, while the AAA giants have the cash to just evacuate the calendar, we gotta look at the collateral damage happening in the shadows. We're potentially looking at an indie extinction event here. Unlike Ubisoft or EA, independent and mid-tier AA studios simply do not have the cash reserves to delay their games for an entire year. They have to launch their games, regardless of the storm, just to pay their employees' salaries.
It's essentially an inescapable black hole for anyone else trying to sell a game. Step 1. Algorithmic suppression. YouTube and Twitch algorithms are going to aggressively punish channels playing niche games because audiences only want to see GTA content. Step 2. A total media drought. Gaming websites will be forced to dedicate every single headline to GTA just to satisfy demand, completely burying smaller games. And Step 3. Severe gamer fatigue. After spending, 150 hours in the exhausting, chaotic world of Vice City, gamers are going to have zero mental bandwidth left to start a brand new indie narrative experience.
And beyond just fighting for visibility, rival games are practically being gutted from the inside. As one executive at a major European studio recently pointed out, they aren't just dealing with normal talent poaching. A lead animation director literally jumped ship to Rockstar North for double the salary and stock options. Rockstar is using its practically limitless budget to vacuum up elite programmers, top-tier AI architects, sound designers, you name it. They're actively crippling rival studios, proving that competitors aren't facing a standard company anymore. They're facing a sovereign nation's GDP.
So, looking at the big picture, we have to weigh the blessings of this massive monopoly against some pretty dark curses. The blessings? They're undeniable. Millions of dormant casual gamers will flood back into the hobby. The dying hardware market will get injected with massive amounts of cash, and we're definitely going to see terrifying leaps forward in dynamic storytelling and AI. But on the flip side, the curses are severe. Smaller studios face absolute financial ruin. Gamer expectations are going to be elevated to this incredibly toxic degree where every single game is unfairly compared to Vice City. And this monopolistic brain drain concentrates all the elite industry talent into one single mega studio.
Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Sony is perfectly aware of the hardware limitations of the base consoles, and they are intentionally aligning the launch window of the PS5 Pro right alongside GTA 6. It's probably the greatest unwritten marketing synergy in gaming history. To actually hit 60 frames per second, an upgrade won't be an option, it's going to be a necessity. So, my question to you is this: will you shell out for upgraded hardware just to experience the definitive version of GTA 6? Think about that for a bit, and we'll see you in the next explainer.